Hey there friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today I want to share my initial thoughts on Season 2 of Marvel Rivals, and I've really enjoyed it so far. I think there are some minor pinpoints that I will mention towards the end of the video, but overall I think it's freshened things up quite a bit. I definitely like some of the additions to the game, whether it's the new character or some of the new team-ups, but I also think there are some things that could also be tweaked. Starting off, I do want to talk about Emma Frost, who as a Vanguard main, I've really enjoyed. It really didn't feel like there was a lot of anti-dive options for Vanguard, and Penny Parker was the main one. Yeah, you can peel with some other characters like Thor as well, but I just felt like we needed a true anti-dive character who wasn't just a mind bot in Penny Parker, and Emma Frost is just that. I really enjoy using her. Her kit is very interesting. I know some people think she's very OP, but overall, as you climb the ranks, you'll see that she's really good, but in certain situations, which I think is what's important and should be the norm for most characters. I don't think many characters should be just universally great. Instead, they should have certain times where they really exceed. Emma Frost, for example, is really good in triple tank teams, and also she's really good against dive if you have a shield tank who's really able to hold the front line, like Magneto or sometimes Doctor Strange, even though he's fallen off quite a bit as well. I do like the diversity of the season as well. It feels like a lot of characters are viable. We have characters who haven't been fantastic before, like Mr. Fantastic, for example. He is actually much better right now. I also think that Iron Fist, Human Torch, some of these other characters are really good, and because of that, it's shaken things up. We're not seeing as much of the full res comp, which was very annoying with Star-Lord, Mantis, and Adam Warlock. So because of that, I do feel like it's freshened things up quite a bit, and I do like where the meta is at in general. However, it does feel like we're slipping back into a potentially GOATS situation like we saw in Overwatch, where we have 3 strategists and 3 Vanguards, which I think could be problematic. That's not a fun meta for a long period of time. Luckily, we do have 2 anti-tank DPS characters in Wolverine and Iron Fist that a lot of players should get used to playing if they want to run the if they see teams running the triple dive quite a bit. I think one of the main problems that I do have is that while we got buffs to flyers like Human Torch, I also don't think that Hela and Hawkeye have been necessarily put down a peg where they should. It feels like they've been really strong for a long time, and I'd like to see them drop down just a bit because I think they've had their time to shine. I would love to see Black Widow find a way to accelerate up the ranks and be more of that long range option for a bit, but for now, Hela and Hawkeye are still very good, and they're hard to dismiss as like some of the best DPSs, the duelists in the game. We also have Psylocke, very good. Winter Soldier is really nice right now as well. So some of these characters who have been really top tier for a long time, I hope they get hit a little bit harder going forward, just so we see a little bit more of a rise of characters we don't see all the time. And that leads me to some interesting team compositions that we've seen as well. Like, we have the dive meta that really hasn't taken off in the game. In quick play, you see a lot of Spider-Man, Venom, and those types of characters, but as you rise through the ranks, it gets less and less common, and the hope is that eventually we'll see a full dive meta for at least a bit of time, and then we will also probably have anti-dive setups as well to counter that, and that'll be the back and forth. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a fan of when games like Marvel Rivals have characters who fit roles but aren't necessarily dominant all the time. It's why I think characters like Hela are really problematic, because they're so good all the time that it just makes it so you never really have to think about what character to use if you get really good with her. Instead, you can just lock her and go. There's no strategy or debate around what characters that you want to rock when you have a really good Hela, for example, unless she gets banned. Now, early in the season, obviously, no one is really, not many people are that high to get to the bans and everything based on how far people drop down. So because of that, you're going to see a lot more of the characters who are annoying until you get back up into Diamond. And I think the rank reset is interesting because I do like it overall. I think it's a short-term solution, though. I wish they would have a more elegant way to essentially re-rank people at the end of the season. So you could do placement matches, but I don't necessarily think that would change much of anything at this point. Maybe it would drop some players who didn't deserve to be as high a little bit lower, and people who should have been higher might be jumping up a little bit higher than they ended up, or not necessarily than they ended up, but then they dropped down to this next season. But overall, I think it's a really good season. We have lots of free skins to earn. We've got the event where we have a Mantis skin. We have a Scarlet Witch skins. The new skins that they've released as well. The Emma Frost one is insane. There's a lot of other good ones as well. We're getting a Doctor Strange and a Penny Parker skin this week as well that look very good. And it really does feel like the developers at Marvel Rivals, at NetEase for Marvel Rivals, are delivering quick quality content. We got a new map as well. Now, one of the things I'm hopeful for is more long-term arcade type modes. I've mentioned this previously, but I would personally love to see more of that, where the Clone Rumble, for example, stuff like that, in permanently, so we can play it on rotation in the arcade section if we so choose. You don't want too many different types of nodes, just because then it leads to thinning of the player base in each of the different sections, so that can be a bit of an issue. But as long as you don't have too many, maybe you have them on a rotator, I'd love to see that personally. But overall, I think the season is very good so far. There are some reasons that we may be concerned in the future. We're getting another strategist with Ultron on May 30th, it sounds like, which I think, again, is a good thing. We have a lot of duelists. Now we have more options for a variety of different vanguards and then strategists coming as well. And I think that should really shake things up. I do feel like another issue that I want to address is just shortening the time of the strategist ultimates, because I feel like if they were just a wee bit shorter, yes, they could get them really quickly, but that would matter less if they just didn't last as long, and sometimes it can lead to stalemates in fights, especially if you are running that triple tank meta, which feels like it's just very much more difficult to break through teams compared to like games where you have a lot of squishies, you have a lot of characters you're able to farm a little bit easier. So that's just something that I would love to see in the future. Just some slight nerfs to that I think would be beneficial. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of Season 2 of Marvel Rivals so far. What characters are you enjoying the most? I think I'm loving Emma Frost. Still enjoying the Thing, even though he got nerfed. But as far as DPS, I've played a bit of Iron Fist, and he's very good. Namor with the Gamma Squid, I think, is excellent. I didn't really talk about the team-ups, but I think those changes are good overall. Although, as a Magneto player, I'm really bummed that I lost the sword. That being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.